It's 4:04 on the clock. We're good to go.
Let's get it. Should
This
we
is
get
like the first? Yeah, let's fucking rock and roll, baby.
Let's get a check. Check one.
Let's
check
get a check,
two.
check, one, two.
Check. What do I see? I spy something that is green.
I spy something that is also green.
I'm gonna say that you're spying the lampshade behind me.
Incorrect.
Ooh. You are spying. Is it that fat stack of cash that I have?
Incorrect.
That I have poking out of this duffel bag right here?
I can't see it out of the piggy bank.
The piggy bank. Hey, old slobs. Remember the bottomless piggy bank? Of course, it's a big ceramic pig that we keep all of our money in. He's bottomless, which means that his pants are pulled down around his ankles. And his bottom is out there in the just kind of exposed to the elements. Of course, we keep all of our money in our unlimited funds. We haven't really talked about our unlimited funds lately either.
No, they seem to be dwindling.
Yeah, I seem to recall you went to Vegas once, and then you said like
it was a euphemism, unlimited funds. You know.
I don't think it's.
I thought so.
I don't know if that's what a euphemism is. But
I think it is.
I mean, it could be. It could be. But what I also once thought that I had.
Yes.
I had to do a report on euthanasia. However, I thought it was a report about kids in Asia.
No,
not
that's a pretty common error.
Classic. What is that? What is that when it sounds like two things? Homonym.
Oh, homonym. Yeah.
But it's weird because it's not like a there or a here. It's like one word versus three separate words. When those three words are put together.
The worst one I've seen for that is I went to a improv show, like a pretty amateur improv show. And so you already know it's going to be bad. And someone yells out like, pool bar. And then they're like, everyone's like pretending to play billiards. And there's one guy like, I'm just going to get my towel because we're going to go swimming. And everyone's like, yeah.
Everyone said, boo.
Yeah, and he couldn't figure it out for 5 minutes. He's like, oh, billiards. I see. There's no pool. Oh, pool and pool.
Yeah, Cam, because you actually you were there, and Guinness came by because you were actually voted worst improv crowd ever, and even Guinness said that was saying a lot.
They were like, "Can we have a suggestion? Eat shit."
Yeah, your suggestions were all super. This sucks. Get a real job. You're kind of like staring at all these improvisers. You're saying, why do you all have flannel shirts and beards?
You suck.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. Yeah, you were unanimously voted by Guinness worst audience member ever.
Yeah, and hold that to the day. Keep the plaque on the wall over here. Proud of that one.
It is incredible. It is an incredible feat, I think.
Yeah, more than a feat in my opinion. It's really just it's who I am.
At this point, it's pretty much just you really define yourself by being the worst crowd member.
Who I've been. Yeah, sit front row and just take subtle jabs at comedians. You stink. You're a hack. Without anyone else hearing it, so they're gonna blow up on me eventually.
And Cam,
but then everyone's gonna take my side.
Well, and Cam, I did see that you went to the Blue Jays game the other day, and I did see that immediately the reports were that the Blue Jays were up by 4 or 5 runs, and you continued to boo as soon as there was a ball. Every single ball you would boo. But not
easily.
Not the ump. You were booing the pitcher, almost like
just anything. You
should
really
be perfect. You shouldn't be throwing a ball. You should be perfect.
Too many pitches. Yeah, everything.
I heard they tried to kick you out because of that, but because you weren't being violent, there wasn't really anything they could do.
Yeah. You know, I looked up every significant other's name in the outfield and just started calling them out. Jennifer.
Because then the crazy thing was that Guinness came right back and awarded you worst fan.
Yeah, I consider it like it's kind of like the Kurt Angle thing. Like worst fan is kind of like best fan, you know?
Oh, yeah, and it's true.
Yeah,
It's damn true.
you know, Kobe Covington uses Kurt Angle's walkout music, like "Bah, bah, you suck."
He uses
bah,
the "you suck."
bah.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Doesn't that
What do you
guy?
mean that sucks?
Doesn't that guy suck though? Like actually?
that's well. I know he's a very talented fighter, but that thing is like his.
No, but isn't
angle
he
is-
actually like a bad person though? Like outside of the octagon?
Yeah, it's pro wrestling, dude. What are
No,
you talking about?
Colby Covington is not a pro wrestler because he's a real person.
Yeah, Kurt Angle isn't. I mean, the thing is, he just, he's taking the act outside of the octagon because you don't get to talk in the octagon that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the UFC, you don't really have that whole, let me tell you right now.
Yeah, you get 14 seconds with Rogan.
You get 14
if
seconds
you
after
win.
you've been punched in the face 100 times to be like. And my favorite question that they always ask at the end of the fight, that was a pretty close decision. Do you think you did enough to win it? No, Joe. I think he beat me. I think he beat me fair and square. What the fuck do you think? Come up with better questions. You have a podcast with over 1,000 episodes, and that's the first question you lay on me?
Well,
Jesus Christ, you should be canceled.
I mean, we're one step closer. If you thought Rogan was a good interviewer in the first place, I don't know. You mustn't listen to many interviewers because I'm pretty sure every single guest he's going to ask something to do with COVID, something to do with elk meat, something to do with knees over toes.
Well, they pre-screen them now to make sure they know about these things, so they don't have to ask about
That's
them.
kind of it, right? It's almost like a broken record at this point. He went from softcore journalism to just nothing.
Do you follow the knees over toes guy?
We're all bulletproofing our knees over here.
We're all big sled guy over here. Backward sled
you're doing the
every
sled?
time. Backward sled, baby.
That's
90
good.
pounds on it.
That's-
Walk backward for 5 minutes.
That's good. What do you use? A dog leash? That's a big one. That's a big.
No, I got my gym to actually buy me a harness because I asked him, like, do you guys have harnesses here? He's like, yeah, we do. And then he started looking around. He's like, I don't know where it is. And then like a week later, he's like, I got that harness. I'm like, sweet. And now I use the harness.
But now you did say they bought it for you.
I'm saying about it for the gym, but
Okay,
I'm
but
the
they
only
bought
guy
it
asking
because
for
of
it.
your suggestion. Okay.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
but that means, Cam, you might show up one day and someone's using that harness. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? How are you gonna act?
You suck. Eat shit. Just kind of do that stuff.
You're
and eventually
gonna
they'll
walk in
leave.
with your world records and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
eat shit."
Jennifer, Jennifer, we want a picture, not a belly insert. Just throw everything you can.
Yeah, throw everything you can, all the jeers that you possibly can. Most jeered. You're just
heard that one.
you're just setting these records, aren't you, Cam?
Yeah, baseball games are fun. I went 2 in 2 days, so I'm pretty in the weeds with them. I know
Yeah.
all the inside. tips and tricks
Imagine
now.
playing 161 games of that. Imagine doing that 161 days in a row.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. If you had season tickets to the Jays, you would know so many little inside details that I wish I knew. Like, the best way to get in is go through this exit, and there's always going to be bobbleheads there because no one goes in that exit, and there's never going to be a line at this stand here because this is the outside here, and there's a washroom right beside it, and people go to that washroom before they go to the thing because I can get this, and I know Jennifer works there, so I can get a discount. And, like, just having all that little inside stuff would be so useful. But I only go to about 3 games a year. So.
Well, I'm sure that's just like anything, right? I walk up to an airport. I have no clue what the hell I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny McBusinessman walks up to the airport. He knows where to go. He knows how to slide in. And
yeah, I know a bunch of my coworkers. They used to be like, they'd have to have conversations like, dude, LAX, if you're going through gate 4, you're never going to make it. Because we're always giving ourselves 30 minutes. You got to plow through gate 5, cut across, and then you make eye contact with the first security guy you see, give him a little wink, show him the TSA thing, boom, you're right through, you're on the plane.
Exactly. Things are completely arbitrary except to you. Like, knowing the fastest way to get to your seats in the Sky Dome literally only applies to the people who have seasons tickets, and even so, it would only be for their seats. Give them another seat in a different section, they're back to square fucking one. That's why these people hold on to these seats for so long, because they don't want to learn how to get to a new one.
What do you what? Section 108. Where's that?
They'd have no idea. They would have no idea.
Spanish?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we fucked up pretty badly. I didn't know that the numbers go from 143 back to 101
because it has to loop.
We were at 142, and we're like, oh, we're at section 4. Guess we'll go this way. Bad idea. Should have gone the other way. Did the whole loop of the building.
Well, good thing you got your steps in. I think that's also kind of important.
19,986.
Well, that was because that was because you did the loop, and you were super tired. You were super weary, kind of around 135, 140, and then you kept walking, and then realized, oh shit, I'm back to 104. So you actually did that loop a couple times before you realized. You showed up in your seats in about the 5th inning, I think.
Yeah, that's when the game really begins.
Yeah,
you don't really want to see the first pitch. Too much action, you know?
No, it's too much. Because you, like we said last week on the show, you were ready. 107, first pitch. You so yeah, you watched probably the first 4 or 5 innings, kind of watching on the televisions outside, kind of on the concourse area, just as you're walking through. It was worth it for you, I think.
Here's one pro tip I learned from reading the internet: is like not an opening day, but in mid, game, 76 of 100 and however many the fuck they do,
61
is if you get good tickets, what you do is if this boring ass game, you just want to stay there, get there early. So say you want to get there for like bobblehead day, get there early, get your bobblehead, pop back out. And there's no reentry thing going on, but then go do whatever you want to do, and then come back for a scalper at like the 5th inning or something like that, and they'll be just super discounted tickets, and then you can grab those and come back in.
Okay, so wait, this is your suggestion. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. So your suggestion is buy a ticket. So this is what you think: buy a ticket. Go into
the 5th inning.
Go into the Sky Dome.
Right. Get your bobblehead.
Get a valueless bobblehead,
which we're gonna get into,
and then leave for approximately 3 hours. And buy a second ticket.
My timing isn't
buy
exactly
a second
on.
ticket. Come back, and then just sit in whichever seats are better. Watch a half of a baseball game, because that's all you really need to watch, a half a baseball game. And then go home happy? Or hope there's extra innings.
Everyone's on top by that point.
Interesting. Yeah, you really
I got more tips and tricks.
Spend 3 times the money and have half the amount of fun. That sounds like a Jays game to me.
Speaking of priceless or valueless bobbleheads, so we got tickets because Shannon's friend has seasons tickets, and he was like, hey, can you go to this game and get the bobblehead for me? I'll give you discounted tickets if you guys go. We're like, fuck it, we'll go. And we didn't want to show up at 1 o'clock because we're not fucking losers, and the game started at 3 o'clock, so obviously we got there like at first pitch. And shocker, there's no bobbleheads left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go and ask one guy, I'm like, would you be willing to sell those bobbleheads? Right, I just need one. And the way that he answered me was like, no, like not a chance in the world. Like just completely offended at the even ask of it. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, so if I offered you $400 for this worthless piece of shit, the answer is still no?
Like, I would hear him out. If it'd be like, hey, how much do you want that bobblehead? It's like, okay, how much are we talking? Now, Cam, what was the bobblehead? Because as a
George Springer.
Fucking George Springer? He's not Roberto Alomar. This isn't a Dave Stieb bobblehead that could actually have like some kind of value. But that being said, though, I guess the George Springer, if the Jays win the World Series this year, then it has the value. So I guess it's kind of like it's an investment, right?
I mean, that's one way to look at it. Like Shane was telling me, he was like, I think it's very valuable because I'll never be able to get one again. He ended up being at the game too by chance. I never saw him there.
Well, did he get a bobblehead?
He got there at 1.
So how much are you buying the ball? Did you ask him how much he'll take it?
He said he wouldn't sell it.
Wow. Okay. Well, clearly, right? You know.
Because he made the point, he's like, I can't get another one of these. And my opinion is, yes, but I can't get another one of these Fridden Russell pens. I have no idea where to buy one. That being said, it's not valuable to me. I just can't get another one of them.
That is a good point. I mean, I do wonder, yeah, it's, I guess if people want to, but I guess if people want to have it, then they want to have it. It's like if I'm going to a concert, right? I'd rather buy the t-shirt that says the name of the tour on it, right? And then the individual dates that they're playing in, because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that shirt is specific to this tour. You can buy any fucking shirt on a website or something, but where'd you get that shirt? Who the fuck knows? But I got this shirt at this tour at this exact location. See, maybe it holds a little something. Is there a date on the bobblehead? Like it says like, hey.
I don't think so.
20 or whatever, April 9th.
April, yeah, something like that. I don't think it did. I think it just has his name and his head bobbles. That's the big thing.
Well, hopefully the head bobbles in a bobblehead.
Yeah, you'd think so. But either way, people seem to put a lot of value into these things. Mm-hmm. I didn't have as much interest in the value.
So now what are you going to do? Now you fucked this guy over. He gave you free tickets.
They were not free. He just gave us like $20 off the ticket.
Oh, so you paid full price for tickets.
Yeah. So, Shannon's like, I'll give him back the money if he's really upset about it. I don't know how much of a diehard fan he is. If he was like, I'll give you free tickets,
see,
with the obsession you have to get one, I'd be like, I will pay someone, basically the full amount of the ticket to get one of these.
See, and that's also a hard ask. Like, hey, I can't make this Blue Jays game. Do you want to go? And you're like, oh, thank you very much. He's like, okay, but only under one condition. You have to show up 2.5 hours early and take this bobblehead, and I'll charge you for the tickets. And that's like, okay. At that point, that's like the, hey,
I'll see if I can get them.
Like, hey, I heard you're going to Europe this summer. It's like, yeah, we're spending a couple weeks in Italy and in Spain. Oh, that's great. Well, my stepbrother lives in Paris. Can you bring him this large crate of apples from the family farm?
Big no. Yeah.
We could.
I mean, we got him a free magnet, which goes in the fridge, tells all the games.
We got a magnet and a photo of the bobblehead.
Yeah, if he really wants that. Also, I got a free hat.
What was it?
I think it's a pretty nice hat.
Was it just like on the chair, on the seat or something?
For opening day, everyone gets a free hat.
Free hat.
Pretty good one in my books.
It's a good one. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I was expecting just dog shit, because normally, I think the thing is, normally when you get a free hat, it normally has the weirdest sponsor on the side. It's like, dildos.com. But this one just has TD, and I think TD is like a pretty big sponsor in Toronto sports, so it doesn't come across as like too awful, right? Like Budweiser, if you see like a Budweiser ad, you're like, it's kind of trashy, right? Coors Light ad, you're like, TD, you're like, I'm rich.
Yeah, a Coors Light hat feels like it came out of a beer, like a case of beer.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Yeah, this might be nice. That's fantastic, Cam. Glad to hear you had a nice time at opening day. Let's kick it.
Continuing tonight on Two Seas in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.
Wow. 22 minutes in, let's kick it.
Well, hey,
that's a new fucking record.
It must be a new record. You're listening to 2 C's in a Pod, episode 113. My name is Cameron Osborne.
The Masters edition.
His name is Cam LeClaire, with the golf clap over there.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Cam LeClaire. I'm following the tour today. It's pretty close. This is a huge sports weekend, Cam. I know we've already gone into the Blue Jays. Leafs game last night. F1 on last night. UFC on last night. Golf on today. Baseball. I think Raptors played last night too.
We play tonight, but nothing we do has playoff implications right now. Like we've locked in the sixth seed. We're all good.
So it's kind of a wash now.
Not a wash. We'll just probably say, we won't be playing our starters or anything like that. Yeah, big sports weekend, like you said, Cam. I almost got an ace yesterday in disc golf. Almost
Damn.
got my second one. It was I was mad that it did not go in. But sometimes, hey, that's what life is.
What was the yardage?
No, they do feet there. You do feet in disc golf. So it was a 260-foot dogleg right, par 3, right off the tee. Shot came out. It was great. And it was one of those, this is going in. It hits the chains and then just fucking bounced right out. It came in so hot, right? Like I put a lot of power on that thing, but it was fantastic. Fantastic things for the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would have been your second ace, wouldn't it?
That would have been number 2 with the same disc also. So that would have been,
Now, most Frisbee players, how many are they getting in a career?
They'll get a lot. They'll get like a fair amount, but it's also probably one of those things like the more you play, the more you're gonna get, right? I'm
thinking real, ball golf, as you call it.
Well, it's way harder to get one in ball golf.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Oh, it's way harder to get it in ball golf. Yeah, for sure. Because it's a smaller thing in a smaller container, right?
And way more distance.
And but that being said, in disc golf, nobody's getting an ace on a par 4. Like you're only getting aces on par 3s.
Oh yeah, I understand.
In that same kind of thing. So like in a way that a lot of par 3s, because that thing too, right? Even on a normal par 3 in a ball golf course, some holes are completely not aceable.
Yeah, I played golf on Saturday morning. Last hole, 18th hole, par 3, 200 yards to the pin. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm pulling out the 4 hybrid. I'm not
exactly right. That's your ace run right there. It's like this is the hole to hit a hole in one on, but maybe on a
200 yards. No, that's far, man. For a par 3, that's a far par 3.
Okay,
like 150 yards. You're like, that's a very doable.
Yeah, exactly. There's in ball golf. There's less short enough holes to make an ace run. You could play a whole course without a single hole where you're like, I could hit a hole in one on this, but in a disc golf course, you might have like 6 or 7 holes per course. That is completely doable. So,
yeah, I can't wait for the invitational.
The 2 Season Pod Invitational. Let us know.
Yeah.
2seasonpod@gmail.com.
Also looking for sponsors. Sponsors wide open.
Sponsors are wide open. We spoke earlier about. Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of bring this up now because Cam, you brought it up earlier. Dildos.com. Just kind of jumped in as a platinum level sponsor. Of course, there are many sponsorship tiers. We have platinum, gold, onyx, silver. Not in that order, but it's in an order of some kind.
It's in an order. It's in an aorta. It's different.
That's something else.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. I can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
First game of golf. You've already been playing golf, disc golf all summers or all winter. So
yeah, I have.
You that wrist is already snapping. You have that snap in there.
Yeah, I haven't ran a game of ball golf in a while. I'll be borrowing some of your clubs for sure, but I'll be showing up with my own shoes, so I'm all good. I'm good.
That's big.
That's all you need. Shoes and a glove. Shoes and a glove. That's all you need.
Shoes and a glove. Good ball cap. Maybe a bucket hat. I'm a big fan of the bucky.
Yeah, a bucket hat, of course. I'll probably be rocking a more traditional single brimmed style.
Yeah, that's good. With the rope over across the seam or no?
Ooh, that's a good call. Well, I am looking at a new 5-panel, so it might be a new type of 5-panel. Do any of the pros wear a 5-panel hat? Are you allowed? Because I feel like golfers
I'm sure you're allowed. I feel like they should try and incorporate more
not.
style.
I feel like they'd be if they don't allow women, they certainly don't allow a fashionable hat.
But we all know, Cam, that you respect hats more than women. So
I have said that before on record,
and especially 5-panels.
Especially a 5-panel hat, of course.
No, I feel like it's more just we gotta respect the game because they allow the newspaper boy hat, which is just a dog shit hat in my books. It's a person that looks like a fucking hipster.
Well, yeah, but that's the paperboy hat, the chimney sweep hat, is kind of going back to that. Bagger, like the Bagger Vance wore a chimney sweep hat, and that's just going.
I don't know what that is.
One of like the 4 golf movies. You have Happy Gilmore,
okay.
You got Tin Cup,
yeah.
You got Legend of Bagger Vance, Caddyshack. Those are the 4.
Caddyshack, right? It's like the 4 majors, the 4 golf movies.
Exactly. Each one equally represented.
Not sure about that. Yeah, I think I'm allowing the 5-panel. We're breaking news. We're allowing the 5-panel at the 2-season pod invitational, and then our sleevelesses allowed on the links for the disc golf.
That is a good question. On the Pro Tour, I think only women are allowed to go sleeveless, but shorts or pants is allowed. Either one. Comfortable footwear. I don't think there's a standard for footwear. You'd be pretty crazy if you're wearing like flip-flops or something, trying to get a good run-up. That would be more on you. I think for the 2-season pod invitational, I think we should go the other way. The ball golf.
Down?
The ball golf has to be super strict. Pants, tucked in shirt, with collared. Disc golf, fucking tarps off and a swimsuit. I think we gotta like juxtapose the two. You have to wear Crocs, and they need at least 3
sport mode down or up.
Sport mode of choosing, but your Crocs have to feature at least 3 giblets.
Ooh, wow, powerful. I'm gonna get the hot sauce one, the Canada one, and a dildo one.
Sponsored by dildos.com. Thanks dildos.com. You'll be coming up a lot as we build ourselves up to the 2-season pod invitational. But let's get into the podcast with something that we haven't done in a little while, because as we know, 2seasonapod@gmail.com is where you can reach us. Our inbox is open, and oh baby, we got an email.
Dear 2csinapod@gmail.com. Stop plugging your email all the time. Nobody is going to write you.
We got hundreds of thousands.
Well, we get thousands of emails. I should be kind of saying that. A lot of them, Cam, are kind of like directed towards you, saying, why are you neglecting your son? You have a lot of those by many different accounts. I only assume those are spam. It says, why won't you acknowledge your son? You say
spam or Samantha?
Her name, it's Samantha Spam.
Spam.
No, okay. Samantha Spam. Say, hi, I'm Mrs. Samantha Spam. Anyways.
Just ignore her.
Okay, I figured those go straight to the trash. But this week, we actually got an email from our friends over at YouTube. The title of the email reads, YouTube removed your content.
Oh boy.
Hi, 2seasonapod. We wanted to let you know our team reviewed your content and we think it violates our sex and nudity policy. We know that you may not have realized this was a violation of our policies, so we're not applying to strike to your channel. However, we have removed the following content from YouTube. The thumbnail on the video, episode 108, Emotional Support Prostitute. We realize this may be disappointing news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal this decision. Find out more details below. Cam! We can recall. If you,
I'm pulling up the photo right now to make sure that I do remember this. I don't even think that's the worst one we've done.
So, so for those of you who don't know what the photo looks like, of course, it's a thumbnail to our video. We post it up on the Instagram.
Oh, you know what?
We post up on Instagram. What it is, it's me. It's a Photoshop of me, my face, lying down on a shade lounge as a prostitute. From behind, a woman, in kind of like a prostitute-like garb, and she has kind of garters and pulling up whatever. Is kind of facing me, and I have a little smirk on my face. But apparently that was enough to do it.
Apparently that's enough to do it. So Instagram, did they remove our content too?
No, that's fine. They don't care. But YouTube removed our video, which is a bit of a bummer, wouldn't you say?
I mean, this is why we're on the same side as Alex Jones, you and I. Big Alex Jones.
Big Alex Jones fans here on the podcast.
Yeah. I can't believe I've been officially canceled. Okay, hear me out, folks.
Oh God! Cam just blew up about 200 pounds in size.
Taking the left, the fucking liberals. Yeah. You know, I think they might. It's not that. I'll let it slide.
It might be a risky photo, of course.
It's a risque photo.
Of course, many Two Season Pod videos or episodes continue to remain on YouTube, such as Little Boy's Underwear, the Cum Pants Piss Boy, All Sperm No Semen.
All sperm, no semen.
So the Super Hornio Brothers. So you can still find a lot of that Two Seasons Pod content that you love. Just unfortunately, episode 108, Emotional Sport Prostitute.
Sponsored by dildos.com.
Sponsored by dildos.com. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, we used to be sponsored by DuckDuckGo. They fucked right off.
And once they heard the news about us getting banned with no strikes.
Banned no strikes though, so watch out. We're still coming for you. Coming for a strike.
Wait till the next photo. I'm doing full spreads.
Full and like so this is kind of you with your pants off and you're like spread open on the couch.
I'm doing a diagnostic check on my own anus to make sure that it's clean, and it's gonna be me through the mirror.
Right. I've never heard a self-examination referred to as a diagnostic check. Almost like it's like a car, and you're kind of going through a checklist, and you're like,
you gotta check your oil.
Yep. Yeah. Oh.
Is it red or black?
All very, very important things to know, because sometimes, Cam, you do need an oil change. Sometimes.
Yeah.
After a lot of mileage, because see, you guys think, Cam, you get a lot of mileage on your anus.
I get a lot of mileage out of my day.
You get a lot of mileage down there, and sometimes the gears start to slow down, start to jam up, and you just need to clear it out.
Yep. It's the old the spring cleaning, we call it.
Is that what we call it?
That's what I call it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what do you got? Oh, don't eat that.
Cam is talking to Shannon right now. I think she's eating something she's not supposed to.
No, we're good. We're good. Just a stick. I'm not sure what that was. That's all right. Our neighbor's dog, it eats everything. We gave it a rope, and
you did tell you did talk with this one a couple weeks ago. The dog choked on the rope.
Yeah, sticks, ropes, balls, like a tennis ball. You can't leave it with a tennis ball because it'll rip off the fur on the outside and just suck it down until it socks everything.
Wow.
I don't. It's funny because I was talking to someone and they were like, "Oh, I would never want a dog that like eats everything." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think they did either. I don't think that was part of the plan."
Like, oh, I love this dog so much. It eats everything.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't at the breeder, and they were like, "Okay, so we have the dog that doesn't eat everything, and the dog that does." You're like, "I'll take the one that does eat everything." No, I don't think that was in the conversation. It's like, what puppy you want? Fuck, we're 30 minutes in. Should we get into our recap of the slice of ice?
You want to do it?
Nailed it.
I mean, I'll give you 50-50 on that. Yeah. It felt like a good segment. It was like your purpose was clear. Let's introduce the segment. Execution, it just felt a little lackluster, Cam. I think you can do better. Let's roll that again.
Okay. Perfect. What's the deal with airplane peanut? No.
Nope. Shit. God.
Last try.
Yep.
With that being said, why don't we roll to our next segment, a fan favorite, a slice of ice.
Walking on the beach and it's really hot. I think I'm gonna go get a pina colada. Miami Vice, it's a slice of ice. My Miami Vice, it's a slice of ice. Wearing cool clothes and smoking cigars. Say hello to my little friend. Miami Vice, it's a slice of ice. My Miami Vice, it's a slice of ice. Now that we might just copy paste that into every episode, Cam, because every single week we recap the adventures of Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs. I had to go on Wikipedia to find his first name. I completely forgot. As they try to take down the crime, the drugs, the guns that plague the streets of Miami. But here's the catch: we only have 5 minutes to recap each episode. We're early on in the season here, folks, and this season's been flying by. I love the hell out of this show so far. We've had a lot of fun doing a lot of things. This week, I am going to kick off the episode. Cam's going to be pulling in the rear. We got episode 7 for you here. One-Eyed Jack. Cam, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go, 3-2. And we open up on a fat bookie answering some phone calls as Crockett and Tubbs do a little stakeout from across the water. They're looking to bust a guy named Albert Lombard, who is very elusive, and apparently he's also wanted in New York City. A woman walks into the office pleading with the bookie to let her husband off the hook for a debt. Just then a big bodyguard walks in and throws the woman onto the couch. So the Vice boys come across the water, bust down the door, where a pretty funny little 2-on-1 brawl ensues. They fall down some stairs, break a bunch of tables before making the arrest. Cue the credits. After the credits, Crockett is catching up with the woman from the bookie's office. Turns out the two of them know each other, and I think they used to have a little thing back in the day. Her name is Barb, and it turns out her husband owes $11,000 to these men, and he's paid $7,000 already, but he couldn't come up with the rest of the money. So the bookie and his guys took all of his tools. They were never specific on what kind of tools. Turns out the money is somehow all funneling up to this Lombard guy. She wants Crockett to go to the loan shark named DeMarco and at least get her husband's tools back. Back at the police station, we meet the new Lieutenant Castillo, the new boss, Edward James Olmos, to be specific. Now we're back at the beach with lots of hot people, hot 80s people in bathing suits, where a man's on the phone in the middle of a beach. Crockett approaches him, and this guy is DeMarco. He tells DeMarco to give back the tools and even stamps his cigarette down in his dessert, the ultimate sign of disrespect. After Crockett walks away, Lombard comes into frame. We know what he looks like now. Over at Crockett's houseboat, his alligator Elvis is being seized by animal control. There have been 4 complaints by him in the last month, but Crockett lets animal control know that Elvis is exempt from normal animal rules because he's technically a police animal. Crockett gets a call from DeMarco about returning the tools, but instead is given a cash payout since the tools are already sold. Just then, detectives walk up to arrest Crockett. That's right, it was all a setup! The detectives believe that Crockett is on Lombard's payroll since they saw him take a cash payment from DeMarco. The new lieutenant doesn't know what to believe, but you can never tell by his ice-cold demeanor. Crockett is off to find Barb, but she's not at home. Her husband tells him that she's been dealing with some mental health issues recently. Tubbs tells us about a high-stakes poker game he believes Lombard will be at, so he's going to go there. Elsewhere, Barb meets with DeMarco and asks for more time on the loan, but instead they get into the car and drive off. At the poker game, Tubbs gets a 4 of a kind while pretending to be a loan shark from Philadelphia, and is getting some pretty good intel. Crockett makes his way back home to find Detective Santiago has set up a romantic dinner for the two of them, and they kiss hard. We fade to the morning where Tubbs arrives to the boat. Cam, over to you.
Tubbs arrives the next morning and tells Crockett and Gina about his progress with DeMarco and all the cash he won playing poker. Crockett, who has set up some false references for Tubbs, gets a call informing him that Barbara Caro has now been found dead, killed, execution style, shot in the head and dumped in a river. Crockett immediately suspects DeMarco and Lombard are behind it. Meeting with DeMarco, Tubbs is taking Lombard's yacht to meet the boss, and he agrees he will hire Tubbs as an enforcer. Back at the station, the lieutenant goes over Crockett's files as part of his investigation and informs him that he has to attend a preliminary hearing the next day. That night, Tubbs goes to work for Lombard, first visiting a cockfight arena where DeMarco hopes to collect from the manager a one-armed man named Angel. Angel can only afford $4,000 to $6,000 he owes, claiming business is slow. Things are about to turn violent when Tubbs offers to take Angel's side and deal with the problem his way. And Tubbs offers to cover Angel for the remaining $2,000 he owns, and he just has to tell everyone that he did pay the full amount, not to blow his cover. Tubbs returns DeMarco with the money, and they leave to meet Lombard at the club. At this club, DeMarco tells Lombard he collected $4,000, revealing that Tubbs shorted him on the cash. Tubbs later informs Lombard that he handed DeMarco the full amount. Sensing betrayal, Lombard abruptly leaves to make some calls, asking to meet Tubbs and DeMarco on his yacht at noon the next day. At Castillo's office, he and Crockett are discussing the Lombard case when the new lieutenant bursts in and begins mouthing off to Crockett about missing his hearing. Castillo suddenly berates the new lieutenant for coming into his office and harassing one of his officers, and informs the lieutenant that Crockett's a good cop, and you would be fucking stupid to think that these allegations are even real. The stunned detective leaves while Crockett thanks Castillo his respect for the new lieutenant has secured. I might have messed up some titles there. DeMarco calls for Tubbs, saying that Lombard is called all over day for now. He's home with a family under surveillance. Tubbs tells him why. Oh my god. He comes clean on the betrayal in his orchestra and the repayment of Angel. We're running out of time. We're going to skip ahead a little bit.
Don't skip! Don't skip!
Play with the vice op. Lombard will kill him if he thinks he's double-crossed him. With no alternative, DeMarco comes to the station to cooperate in exchange for his protection. He signs a confession made that he made a false statement, accusation, remaining Calkins corruption, exonerating him, so he reluctantly agrees to wear a wire to get the confession of Lombard in exchange for preserving his immunity from prosecution. Tubbs DeMarco meets Lombardo on his yacht, which expectedly casts off for the rest of the pursuit. Fuck!
It's defeating when it happens, eh, Cam? This might be the first time that you haven't been able to finish. Well, that's what your wife said. Well, that's what you said to your wife. Yeah, Cam, it's a real defeating feeling when you don't finish the.
When you see the 4:30 and you look at your script and you're like, I'm not even close.
Yeah, Cam, I've done. Hey, this is what happens with Slice of Ice. We only have 5 minutes to recap. I made that very clear in the introduction.
As far as you know, there might not be a next episode because Tubbs and Crockett might be dead.
Oh, wasn't there an episode of MacGyver where it was?
It was the final episode of MacGyver.
It was literally like
there was
a gun to somebody's head, and it was like, what happens? Tune in never. Of course, yeah. If you listen to MacGyver or Knight Rider before it, you know how this game is played. You know how this game is played, folks. But tune in. Yeah, next week we'll be recapping episode 8. Yeah, this show is great. I love this show. It is so much fun.
You like this one, eh?
Yeah.
It's more. How can I put this? Has more depth than the other ones for sure, because the other ones are just so cookie like.
Well, I think having Crockett and Tubbs creates two separate things. Where in Knight Rider and in MacGyver, it was a singular lead character, so it was all about that character. But even in these shows, Crockett can do something, Tubbs can do something. And but it's still part of the same plot. You know, they both could kind of do at it their own way. So,
right.
Yeah, which is real fun. Hey, I went to the casino last night.
No way. Tell me about it.
Went out. It was a friend's 30th. So we all kind of rented an Airbnb house down there in Niagara Falls. Just like a 10, 15-minute walk from the casino there. It was great. Ended up, I guess it was... not Falls View, but the other one. The other casino was the one that we went to. I could not tell you the name of it. I was wasted when we got there. How'd we do? We only lost like $45 between.
What'd you play? What were you playing?
We were playing machines. Holy shit.
Oh.
Okay. So let me finish. Let me finish with this. Okay. You've been to Las Vegas.
Love it.
I've been to Las Vegas.
Love it.
I'm sure a lot of people listening to the pod, or maybe, have you been to Las Vegas on twocesinapod@gmail.com? This casino was busier than every single casino I went to in Las Vegas. Every single table was full. I would say 75% of every single fucking slot machine was full. This place was busier than, and I mean,
was it free drinks?
No. It was pay. We didn't actually buy any drinks. I showed up good.
You had enough drinks in you?
I showed up good enough. But it was free coffee and water, so I was sure to take a
So there was no waitresses walking around being like, "Can I take you order?"
There was, but I think only at the tables.
Oh yeah, okay,
but
that's
we never.
pretty common,
but we never sat down at a table. I can like it was every single table, every single chair was full. It was crazy, and we're there with friends, right? So kind of like walking around. We're hoping to maybe find like a blackjack table with like 3 seats available. You know, we can all sit down, have a fun time. Nope, you would maybe see one available,
and it'd be like a $50 table.
It was so insanely busy. So we were just kind of like, you know what? Let's just have, we're already here. Let's go to a bunch of these machines. You know, we looked for the ones that
slots.
Yeah, we looked for ones that had like actual hand cranks on it, or ones that were a fun theme. Like there was a James Bond Diamonds Are Forever themed one. And I was like, sure, let's play that.
So did you go up in the money at any point playing slots?
Jess went up. She was up like $40 on a single machine.
Damn.
But yeah, cumulatively between the two of us, we only lost $45, I think. So it actually,
So you lost all the money.
I lost more money than she did for sure, because she was up that one time. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Like, well, I mean, maybe because it was Saturday. Maybe because
mask lift or restrictions are gone.
Maybe all those sorts of things. But
people are buzzing.
But I think they need more fucking casinos.
Yeah.
Like,
on
I feel
board.
like that was the thing.
Build 5 in Kitchener.
I feel like that was the thing in Las Vegas, whereas there's so many casinos that are so large that there's always open shit. There's always going to be even if everyone's flocking over to the $5 craps table, there's still going to be spots open at the $5 craps table. There was absolutely nothing available anywhere. It was insane.
What was the minimum table for blackjack?
I don't remember. They also, that information wasn't like very clear. From where I can recall in Vegas, it would go like blackjack, $5 like, minimum.
Yeah.
But like that information, you kind of had to like get very close to the table.
You'd be like, "Excuse me, what?
Yeah, exactly.
How much do I have to pay?" And they're like $20. You're like, "Are you fucked?
Are
like
you
not
fucked,
a chance."
bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they,
Like,
I think they just need more.
Where's, like, excuse me, where's the poor tables? I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So they say they're like, "Oh, the poor tables are in the corner, sir." You know, we're kind of
We'll lead you. We'll lead. They're actually out in the parking lot. We'll lead you there.
Exactly. Big Italian man told me to forget about it, whatever that means.
His name was Alfred Spaghetti.
Alfred Spaghetti. That was bad. But yeah, no, it was a great time. I'd never been to a casino in Canada at all. The only time that I've been to a casino was when I went to Las Vegas when I was 21. So, it's something to do, but it was kind of like, shit, I wish it was larger so there were more table opportunities. Like, this place was fucking packed. It was insane.
That sounds fun, though. Okay, good to know. Good to know that casinos in Canada are still sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it was sick. I think it would have been cooler if there were less people, but of course,
you have fun though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had a great weekend. I mean, yeah, like I said, almost got the ace yesterday. I think I finished. We played 27 holes. I was 5 over. I think I missed two. I missed 2 par putts that like I should have hit. I would have won the day. Yeah. But the birthday boy won, so I bet he only won by a stroke, so I'm okay with that. I'll let the birthday boy win.
That's what you want.
Especially on a new course, you're not familiar with it. He had played it before. He kind of came in with that inside thing. And yeah, fucking IHOP this morning for breakfast. We stole a mug, which was nice.
Says IHOP on it.
Yeah, because I'd stolen a Denny's mug a few years ago, and I was like, well, now I want this as IHOP. That point, and Cam and I felt this for a few years. Maybe you're feeling this as you get older. Do you hit a point in your night? Let's say you're partying. Let's say you're not partying. Let's say you're doing whatever. But there's a point, 10:30, 11, midnight, whatever it is. You're looking forward to tomorrow morning's coffee.
No,
you haven't
never clicked in.
Never clicks in. I hit a point sometimes, and it's only in times where like I'm drinking over, partying over like a long period of time. I think we got back and started kind of drinking beer baseball around. Have you ever played beer baseball?
You went ham.
You ever played beer baseball?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, beer baseball.
You need a
so
lot
much
of people
fun.
for that.
Jess was crushing it at beer baseball. She was hitting all sorts of fucking triples. Well, there was 9 of us. So there was enough people to, have like a thing, do a thing. So I think we started probably drinking at like 5. So we were kind of going for a bunch of hours before even making it at the casino. So had a great time, and then it was just
need my invite next time for that one. That's a big night, but I was also fucking having a great time too. So
but very much so. And now I find the older I get, there's this point where it'll be like midnight. I think in this particular situation, we were walking back to the Airbnb from the casino, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, God, you know what I can't wait for? And just like what I say, I can't wait for coffee. And not just any coffee. No. The coffee where you pay once and then get as much of it as you want. Some people...
you mean from the diner? You mean like diner coffee?
Well, I mean, we did IHOP, but I love...
that's dog shit coffee,
though. No, that's great coffee. What are you talking about? After you have a dog shit night, you drink dog shit coffee. Who do you think I am? A fucking Robert Kardashian? I need to be drinking... The finest bean, the finest Arabica bean.
I would think so. Yeah, I think you'd pass the point. I just can't see you getting excited about IHOP coffee.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't wait to drink all of this shit coffee.
Oh, I drank like 6 cups of coffee. I felt so good about it. See, you get nice coffee, you got to pay per cup. It's gonna be like a $4 cup. Next thing you know, that's $25 just in coffee. No,
yeah, but you don't need to have 4. You look forward to 1.
No,
like I'm like I can't wait for the piss warm Busch Light. I'm like, I want a fucking nice cold Busch Light because that's what I want, right?
No. Give me 12 cups of coffee and just let it soak everything up down. I want to replenish my fluids with coffee. And maybe the older you get, maybe you'll appreciate these sort of things as you go. You're what, 20, 23, 24?
Yeah, I'm like 21.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's what I did this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Nobody got hurt. Nobody lost.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody cries.
Yeah.
Nobody hurts. Nobody dies.
Nobody lost an insane amount of money, so it's all good.
That's good. Good. What is the most important thing in comedy?
Most important. Probably somebody laughing, right?
Let's kick ahead to our next segment. What is it? Headline or asinine?
Hey, headline or asinine? Headline or asinine?
Wait, where were you going with this comedy bit?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
You
know how the game's played. There's fake headlines. There's real headlines. Cam and I got to figure it out.
All right. Cam, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Traveler told TSA he had no idea a sword was concealed in his cane.
A sword?
Yeah.
Well, so that's I mentioned James Bond earlier. That sounds like a James Bond type of thing, right? It's like the dart in the watch, or the pen that's actually like a recording device. These are all sorts of spy shit, and I would think like a sword and a cane would be no different. But now the story, how you have to come across that, would be interesting, right? Because let's say I don't need a cane. I had a cane once, actually, when I dislocated my knee. And in that particular case, we got the cane from like the pharmacist, from the hospital, like from where? From a reputable medical type of facility. If you need a cane, you would probably go get like a real cane. You're not going to be like cruising around fucking Kijiji looking for a discount cane. Because in that case, if it's keeping you stable, you want to use something that's real. So it's hard to say. It was clearly something that was ornamental, but I believe the story that he didn't know there was one in there. I'm just curious as to why this person who needed a cane didn't want to pay a little bit more and maybe get one that was a little safer or a little sturdier. Because I can only imagine that there's some kind of sturdiness which is lost when you put a fucking knife into a little dowling. I'm gonna say I got to side on. I got to be on this man's side, and it sounds like a good story. I'm gonna say it's a headline.
It's timing.
Yeah,
the most important thing in comedy.
Right. So something that you do not have.
That's a joke.
Wow, that's not a joke though.
That's a good one.
Okay. if that's what you consider to be a good one, Cam, I'm not going to take this away from you.
You like that one, don't lie. This one is a headline, yeah. So this one is from Boston Logan's International Airport, where it doesn't really have much details on the guy. He just I had no idea it was in there. And the TSA, obviously they took it away from him, but they basically said, this is not uncommon at all. He walked through the metal detector, and it shows up that he has a blade in there, which, if you had a blade in it, you'd kind of be like, I probably shouldn't go through the metal detector on this because they're going to see a giant blade. But other passengers have a charge made through airport security with a dagger concealed in the hairbrush handle, and a bunch of other different items like that. So next time you're trying to conceal something, do it in your luggage because they don't really check that.
They don't really check the luggage, so just do it there. Why don't ya? Yeah. Okay, Cam, I got a headline here for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Headline or asinine, German man received 90 COVID-19 shots in order to sell forged vaccine cards.
Wow. That guy. Some people are like, I don't fucking trust Anthony Fauci one bit. That guy's like, I believe every word he says. I will get 90 of these shots, and I will make sure everyone is vaccinated. I'm doing it for the people, you know? I assume that's what he's going for. 90, though. I have big... You say 9-0?
9-0.
Damn. Yeah, the only problem I see here is... and then again, I was going to say is that the Canadian government, when they do it, they have generally pretty good record keeping on, I got this shot on this day, I got my second shot on this day, because you have to show your health card every time. In America, they don't have any public health, so it's like, you want a shot, take the shot, they just give you a stamp card. And then it's like, look, I got my vaccine, and it's just a punch-through hole card with Anthony Fauci's face on it. You poke through both eyes, and then you got a vaccine card. That being said, I assume they have a little bit better of a system than that, so I'm going to call shenanigans.
Cam, this one is a headline here for you. This is a story out of Germany, of course, about a story about a 60-year-old man, a 6-0, so 60-year-old man, who has been arrested for selling forged vaccination cards to unvaccinated people. He was caught by authorities in the eastern state of Saxony when he showed up to a vaccination clinic for the second day in a row. When authorities confronted him, he was in possession of several blank vaccination cards. In Germany, the unvaccinated pretty much aren't allowed to do anything, similar to like our Vax Passport system. You know, you can't go to the gym, can't go to a restaurant, you can't do all these things. And starting on October 1st, 2022, all people over the age of 50 will require proof of vaccination. Which, yeah, so this one is weird to me because it's like you're willing to... Like you want to make money to sell to those who don't want to get vaccinated. So you agree with what they're doing, but you're doing the thing that they don't agree with. Oh, it's a weird one for me. It's funny.
Yeah, this one's kind of confusing. I mean, I think the moral implications less than the actual financial.
Yeah.
And hey, but sometimes the old green bill can compromise anybody's morals, just
exactly.
Like that famous Kendrick lyric is. I don't
know.
Arizona prison sees 4 escape after faulty locks let them walk out the back door.
Faulty locks, yeah. This sounds like I'm going to say it has to be like some kind of like electronic type of lock. You know, like a deadbolt. There's no such thing as a faulty deadbolt. You know, or like a real thing that locks into something. But you know, something digital, you never know, right? There's a bug in the system, and then next thing you know, the door opens for some reason, or it never locked in the first place. But 4 people escaping. Yeah, I would wonder, you know, is it, did they realize the locks didn't work? Did they try and escape and then just kind of got lucky? And they're like, oh shit, the door's actually not locked. Sweet, let's go for it. It could be something like that, but I feel like prison escapes these days, it's not because of the locks. It's because, I saw one the other day, somebody was released from prison, like, accidentally, because, like, their paperwork got mixed up with somebody else's paperwork.
I feel like that happens, like
that
every
is more
news story
often.
I see is that. It's like, I saw one that said Lady Gaga's a dog walk, or a person who murdered her dogs for ransom, accidentally released because of error.
Yeah,
like,
shit like that,
I
right?
saw.
It's just like an error. But yeah, I'm going to say that locks are a little too foolproof these days. I'm going to say that this one is asinine.
Yeah, you got me on that one, big fella.
Yeah, I probably did. Okay, Cam, I go in here for you. Headliner asinine: woman who married a 300-year-old ghost of a pirate announces their marriage is over.
I like the fact that she announced it, and I'm just curious what public forum you did. Like, I bet it wasn't even on a big one like Facebook. It was on, like, Zora questionnaire. It was like, I married a 300-year-old pirate. Ask me anything. It's
AMA.
Like, yeah. And, like, one person answered, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's like, the next comment is like, we just ended things. I'm not feeling great. Yeah, people love getting headlines for shit like this. I mean, I don't think you can legally marry a pirate that's 300 years old and dead and not a person, because there's implications with marriage. That being said, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call asinine. Double asinine.
Double asinine. Cam, this one is a headline here for you. This story about a woman named Amanda Teague, a 45-year-old from Northern Ireland who married the ghost of a pirate named Jack. But it appears though their marriage is over. The mother of 5 told a local Irish newspaper that her marriage is over and also warns other people to be very careful when dabbling in spirituality. The couple was married 3 years ago on a boat in international waters, the only place where the marriage would be legal. Teague hired a medium for the ceremony, so her husband, named Jack, could communicate and say, "I do." Since she couldn't place a ring on his finger, a candle was held up. And a ring was placed around a candle symbolizing his hand. Their love story began in 2014 when the ghost of a Haitian man visited her while she was lying in her bed. After 6 months of communication, the two fell in love. They began to have what she defined as a sexual relationship, but Teague wanted more, and the two were eventually married.
I'd just like to point out that Jack is the 3rd most common Haitian name. Just in case anyone thought that was a red flag for this.
Well, and also probably the most popular pirate name. So it kind of, it was got a little bit for everyone.
Yeah, just some, nothing really rings
There's something to look
here.
out for, folks. Something to think about.
Yeah. All right, Cam. This one's maybe less of a headline or asinine, but maybe a continuation of a story. South Carolina schedules first execution after preparing death chamber for firing squad. Old slobs know. We've been following this one for months now.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna need you to repeat that one. I'm sorry.
South Carolina schedules first execution after preparing death chamber for firing squad.
Yeah. So I take it because one of the things when it comes to the execution, there's always like the gallery. You know, like people watch people get the chair, or
I think that's a movie thing. I don't think that's real.
We think that's a movie thing. Well, because I was going to say that's why we need a room for this. Because you would think just a firing squad for whatever, just fucking put them up against a wall. It doesn't matter. Bop, 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 bop. Great, they're done. But to actually create a room for this to happen just sort of seems like a hat on a hat. It's not like they're getting away. If they were outside, per se. The only reason I think they would be inside is so they could have some kind of gallery. So people could watch it happen. It has to be real. Also, if it's in that many movies. That being said, we were just talking about the casino. In most movies, when people are playing craps, they roll a 7 and everybody cheers, where famously in craps, that's the number that you lose on.
Unless that's the first roll.
Yeah, unless it's the first, but that requires so much context.
Inside knowledge, baby.
Inside knowledge.
We're always playing inside baseball.
Yeah. Oh, this is how the sausage is made. Yeah, but Cam, I'm gonna say that this is a real story just because you have a borderline creepy fascination with that.
Prisons and getting murdered in prison, and then getting murdered by authorities in prison.
Yeah,
and then fourthly, firing squad.
It's honestly, possibly your top Google searches. I can only imagine what your YouTube ads are about. So I'm gonna say this one is a headline.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we've evolved. This should be its own breaking news segment. So we've got our first execution date. It's set April 29th. The execution, I guess, are those synonymous? I'll call them that, of Richard Moore, a 57-year-old man who has spent more than 2 decades on death row after he was convicted of killing convenience store clerk James Mahoney in Spartanburg. Now, if old slobs remember that this man was supposed to go to the chair, but because they weren't able to find lethal injection drugs because of shortage of supply because of COVID, we went over this. They had to open up a new option, which was the firing squad. So now he has 2 options, firing squad or electric chair, because in law, when you're getting executed, you have to have a choice. They can't detect how the choice is going to happen. Now, Cam, here's the most interesting part of the article. If you go to the firing squad, there will be 3 people doing the executions. 3 all corrections department employees, all volunteers. That part blows me away. That there's going to be a pick me. I want to blast them, and they're supposed to aim at the heart. Like, Who the fuck is that guy?
I'm gonna say sociopaths, or people who want to make a good impression in front of the boss. They want to be yes men. You know, first in, last out.
Maybe, and that's the part that scares me is like, so James, we're going over your performance review this year. We're really happy with you're always 5 minutes early and stay 5 minutes late from work, so we're happy about that. One thing we've noticed is every time we've asked for a volunteer for the firing squad, you put your name in 4 times each time. Is there something going on at home? Right? Like, is this not concerning to be the guy who's like, I want to be the guy?
Yeah.
I want to.
It's a little scary.
Fucked up.
It's a little scary.
Yeah. But then the other thing is, like, would you rather it be voluntold? Or not, I guess not voluntold.
Exactly. I don't think that... Yeah. It feels like there's some kind of union thing in there where they can't tell you to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, would it rather be just automated machine gun fire?
Just like a...
You know...
Yeah.
Like
on a sprinkler type of system.
Do you know what the purpose of the firing squad is? I think we might have gone over this.
Like, why having many people? Yeah, so it's nobody knows who did it.
There you go. Which is like 3 people's not that. I feel like it's a little bit
I guess really it's a 1 in 3 that you're gonna guess the right guy. And also, but doing that probably gonna weigh a lot on your conscience too, right? So
that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
That's why it's like you have to volunteer. You have to want to kind of take on that responsibility. And maybe there's some kind of pay bonus. You know, you get like an extra, you get a little bonus or something.
20, I mean, then $20. Fuck. This is a $20 bonus for Ted. We have volunteers. We do have a bonus where you get an extra 10 minutes during your lunch for the next week. Oh, pick me. Yeah, man, it's pretty fucked up. We're following the story closely. After April 29th, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what he picks.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we definitely are following this one closely.
This is the first time we've actually followed up on a story multiple times.
I think we followed up, multiple times. We definitely followed up once with something else, but yeah, you've I mean, it sounds like you would volunteer for this, to be honest.
If it was you, yeah.
Okay, Cam, I got your final headline here for you. Headliner Asinine: Man with first successful gorilla to human penis transplant dies after having intercourse for the first time.
This just sounds painful. Gorilla to man. I mean, you're definitely adding a few inches both in girth and length. So we're looking at some positives there. I think the problem is everyone, whenever everyone gets their new toy, right? It's like when you get new electronics, like make sure you charge it up first before you're like, fuck that, I'm going to play with it now, right? It's the same with a new dick. You just want to stick it right into something. It rips right off. Next thing you know, the warranty is gone on it, and you're dead.
The warranty.
That being said, I don't think they're that far along with gorilla human transplants, so I'm gonna triple down and say triple bullshit.
Wow, 3 asinines in a row. Cam, that is asinine. I made that one up.
Yeah, that would be a little much.
And the next we play, if you just keep saying asinine, eventually you're gonna get it right.
That's how we play. All right, Cam. My plug up for the week is.
Well, that's again. You gotta introduce the segment.
Oh yeah, plug it or shrug it, where we give the folks what they really want, and that's advice for this cruel and complicated world that we live in, or we just shit on something. One of the two. It's called plug it or shrug it.
Plug it or shrug it. Plug it or shrug it. Plug it or shrug it. Plug it or shrug it. Plug it or shrug it.
Cam, this week I'm plugging something. You're going to the Jays game anytime this year. You're allowed to bring your own food. You're allowed to bring chips, peanuts, drinks, right? And they say no alcohol. They're definitely not checking. They're definitely not checking your bag that closely.
Not that closely.
And what I mean by the water bottle, fill it with whatever you want. And if you really want to get greasy, seltzer bags, baby. Put that in the bottom of your bag. No one's going to know the difference. Fill up your drink all night, and you will be nice and warm by the end of the evening. I brought in a bag of peanuts. I brought in some sweet tarts. I wasn't going to go full dirtbag route and bring in my own bag of seltzers, but I do recommend you do.
Yeah, snacks. I feel like they'd be a little more lenient on snacks versus booze.
One's completely allowed and one is not allowed.
Oh, you're allowed to bring peanuts and Cracker Jacks?
Yeah, but that was the point. I'm getting to. You're allowed to bring whatever you want. You just bring a bag and you open it up. They're like, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, because it's almost like a day at the park. I mean, it's fucking baseball. Like nobody cares in the first place.
Or hear me out.
Okay.
Bags of chips.
Yep.
Beers in the bags of chips. Glue the top of the chips.
Glue the top. You're sitting down. The person beside you cracks open a full bag of Doritos and starts pulling out JRs.
Yeah. Well, you got to go with the ones they have at the.
Oh, right. You got to go with yeah.
Whatever
you buy or super greasy move. You like go once and then the second time you go, bring the same beer cup back.
Dude, they don't even give beer cups. They just give you a can.
Oh, it's a can. Okay, I pictured them pouring it into the plastic.
That's what I thought, but they're like, save the world. Let's get rid of plastic cups. And I'm like, I'm bringing in my own seltzer bag.
That was fantastic, Cam. Well, I've got a shrug for you this week. I'm going to have to shrug people who try to shave you down money when buying something on Kijiji. Are you one of those people, Cam? Listeners? Somebody says, hey. Somebody says, hey, this is the price. You're like...
haggling, yeah.
Yeah. Are you one of these people? I feel like you're a haggler.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. 100%.
If you do, you're a piece of shit.
I don't do it in person.
Yeah. Okay.
That I find to be unacceptable.
The electronic communication is where the deal takes place. As soon as you're in person, that's the agreed upon figure. If you do that, you're a piece of shit.
It's slimy. If you're like, I only have $60, you're like, then you don't have a mattress, right?
This is exactly what happened to me the other day. I was selling some old workout equipment, 115 pounds of plates, an easy curl bar, and 2 of those dumbbell bars that you add your own weights onto. The guy, I cannot tell. I put this thing up for $130. Weight is going for $2 a pound, and I put it up for $1 a pound. I cannot tell you the amount of people who respond saying, hey, 90 for everything. No. Yeah. 100 for everything.
Suck my dick.
No.
Literally.
Eventually, I get some guy who's going to buy it for the full price. I bring everything out to his car. Okay, and then he says,
"Big move."
Well, there's not really. I don't have a park. There's no parking lot for my building. There's no driveway or anything. So it's just easy. I don't want this guy in my house. It's easier. And
especially when you're selling objects that can be used to kill you.
Well,
right? Little 2-pound weight. You're like, let me double check that this is 2 pounds. Boom,
slap. So I get everything down there. And he's checking everything, make sure it looks good. And now 4 of the 5-pound plates, like you're picturing like the weights you can kind of buy at Sport Check, right? They're the 1 inch in the middle. Now 4 of the ones that we have they're 2 inches in the middle, right? That I didn't specify in the ad, but you should be able to look at the fucking photo and make that up for yourself, right?
Not be dumb. Yeah.
So he says, oh, well, these ones aren't going to work. They're not going to fit. Meanwhile, they're on the bar and they fit, and he's telling me they're not going to fit. I'm like, no, well, you just put them on, tie it up, like fucking screw the thing up, it's going to work. And then it took him, he's like, no, it's going to slide around. He ties it up all the way and then starts curling it once or twice. The weights don't move at all because, of course, they don't fucking move. I'm like, yeah, you see, I see, he's inspecting. He's like, and 130 is firm? And I say...
You're like, that's what we agreed to, yes.
I say, these go for $2 a pound. I'm already giving you the fucking deal so you can get it off my hands. And then he begrudgingly... And I could see what he did. He showed up with 2 50s, a 20, and a 10. So he was prepared for... Sell it for 100, buy it for 110, buy it for 120, or buy it for 130. He was fucking ready for it. And I'm just like, yo, bro... We already made this fucking deal.
You should have walked away right then and said, I know you have the money, but you showed up and you disrespect me in my fucking house. You walk away. And he goes, oh, I'll give you more. Fuck, $200 now.
$200 now. I already had a guy.
You're going to walk your ass to the bank and get me more fucking money, you piece. Fuck you. That's when you bring me there, Cam.
That's when I bring you there. Jennifer.
Yeah.
And I already had another guy who was like, hey, I'll buy them from you next week. I'm not available, but like if they're still available, let me know. I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. But I'm like, I want to sell it now or whatever, right?
Sure.
But yeah, so if you're one of these people, you can just go eat shit.
Yeah, love it. I'm fully on board with that. You agree to that? Like I'm always haggling on Kijiji, right? Not at the door. To me, that's
never
like
at the door. That's where the transaction is quick. I certainly understand. Hey, you want to look at it.
Here's the money.
You want to touch it, feel it for the first time. Be like, yep, this is what's going
on here. I
on
would say there is an exception there.
Okay.
If it's like, oh, I didn't see this in the ad. There's a big blank in it, right? And you're like, yeah, you know what? I didn't really put that in the ad. It's like, you know what, man? Like it does kind of reduce the value on it. Then I'd be like, okay, but then it's a discussion, right? If you're like, fuck it, you know what? You're right on this one. I fucked up. Then we're out. Or it's like, I'll give you an example. I buy a lawnmower, right? And then it's like first start every time. I go to pull it and it's just taking forever. I'm like, I'll buy it off your hands, but I want 50 off, man. Like this thing's not even starting. Like that to me is when the transaction happens.
Yeah.
That acceptable. But we're talking $2 a pound here versus $1.
Eat shit.
Pretty much. I was glad it's out of my house, clearing the way, and some cash in my pocket. And that's all the time we have for the podcast this week, folks. Thanks for listening. Rate, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. We will be back next week, of course, as we always are, for Easter weekend. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait for Easter. Cam, great chatting with you today. Never forget, folks, as the Masters Championship wraps up today, if a returning member wins the championship for a second time, he is not given a new jacket, just the old one that he wore the last time. That's my fact.
I'm Cam LeClaire signing off.
I'm Cam LeClaire signing off.
Take care, folks.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's just like 2 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.